cars, telephones, birth control pills, and the internet. They've changed the dating game dramatically over the years. Now, dating apps are changing it again. But how exactly? These dating apps are called Geo-Social networking applications, or GSNAs, and there are a lot of them.
And a lot of people use them. Some you may have heard of, some may be new to you, but they all operate on the same basic principle: connecting people virtually based on their physical geography and mutual levels of attraction.
Now, there has been a lot of research, media coverage, and anecdotes around overall GSNA usage. But so far, there's been very little said about the cultural impact of these apps and how they could impact gender, sexual identities, ideologies, sexual social practices, and quality of life. That's what we're determined to get to the bottom of. My name's Dr. Corey Johnson.
And I'm Dr. Diana Perry. We're professors at the University of Waterloo and the directors of Coder. And we're setting out to ask and hopefully answer some of the bigger questions about how these apps are impacting lives. Our research has 4 main objectives: to generate qualitative interview data that addresses the impacts of GSNAs, to conduct focus groups on how the use of GSNAs in public spaces affect the configuration of those spaces, to promote new methodology for the study of GSNAs, and finally, to communicate some of our big findings through videos, like this one.
Traditionally, researchers may have considered themselves the experts on the topic being looked at, but for our study, and for our interviews in particular, we put the participants right in the center of the research as the expert of their own stories, which gave us a particularly unique perspective from people like Becca, who uses Bumble, John, who uses Grindr, and Preet, who uses Tinder.
Sexual performativity, self-representation, impression management, authenticity versus desirability, all big terms and even bigger ideas that we'll talk through over the course of this video series.
And each video will be centered on different gender and sexual identities. And while certainly there are some similarities across the series, each will have a unique trait specific to certain apps or dating practices, and we're excited to talk about them each in more depth. We'll also share more about new research methodology we created to study these apps called appnography. So follow along and let's get into it.